Greetings, Exile! Many of you already know about Behemoth, one of the least played classes from the previous Phrecia League. And for those who don't know about him, well, he was a big boy who hated spells, had no aura, no raise, and all he did was cry about it all day while rampaging around like a maniac. And even after the recent changes, he's still the same old big buffoon. He still has no aura, no raise, an abysmal pick rate, and now, the worst part, he can't even cry about it, as he has traded his ability to cry for casting the same spells he so deeply hates. And still, his hate runs so deep that his spells deal no damage at all. This makes him the perfect candidate for a off-meta trash build. But before I start talking about this build, I want to tell you a small story why I did not put out a league start video. Initially, I had planned a Val Ground Slam build as my league starter. Of course, on a Behemoth. I had done all my research, made a nice POP, and was waiting for the patch notes. As you can probably guess, Slam builds rely heavily on war cries to boost their damage. And with the change that Behemoth can no longer cry, the build completely fell apart within a second, leaving me absolutely clueless what to league start. That's when I received this particular comment, and I thought, why not? The only reason that build failed was because I could not cast spells. But now, the downside is somewhat gone. I can bring that build back, improve it 100-fold, and even add a new twist to it. Now, what is this twist, you might wonder? Well, some of you might know that I've given something very unique to the PoE community. The identity of Sir Bonks-a-Lot. The absolutely stunning prodigy. A non-gimmicky, all content viable stun build. And so far, I've made 7 iterations of it. Each one better than the last. So, our Behemoth will now carry the legacy of Sir Bonks-a-Lot on his huge shoulders. Whether he embraces that legacy or completely disgraces his ancestors, I will leave that judgment to you. For this build, we are going to use 2 main skills instead of just one, those being Heavy Strike and Rage Vortex or Berserking. Let's start with Heavy Strike first. This skill inherently has very high chance to deal double damage, alongside a modifier that reduces enemy stun threshold and very high attack damage scaling. Since Heavy Strike does not inherently generate trauma stacks, we can even use trauma support with it, gaining a lot of flat physical damage and increased stun duration, making the perfect skill for a stun build. However, a skill like Heavy Strike has really bad clear, and that's where Rage Vortex or Berserking comes in quite handy. This skill turns into a cyclone around us, quickly building up rampage stacks as long as we have rage. So all we have to do is generate a bit of rage with the Heavy Strike and then simply keep walking with Rage Vortex active. And since Rage Vortex can no longer snapshot due to us being unable to use Intimidating Cry, it is no longer a viable skill for bossing. This is the reason why these 2 skills work so well together, as they perfectly cover each other's weakness. Use Heavy Strike for bossing and Rage Vortex for mapping. Now, despite this being a stun build, which is usually best done with a mace, our Behemoth is absolutely adamant about using an axe, as Rage Vortex only works with swords and axes. He wants to experiment and refuses to listen to his ancestors. I told you, he's a maniac. So, for the first time ever, you'll get to see Sir Bonks-a-Lot without his trusty bonk stick. Now, I will not go into any more detail about this build, as I have a lot more planned for the next video, where I will provide you guys with a budget version of build that can easily take on tier 16 maps and pinnacle bosses. This league has been really brutal so far, so expect to die much more than I do while leveling. After all, I only make softcore builds. I've never made a hardcore build, nor I will ever do. But to smooth out your leveling experience, I made an act by act, very detailed mobility guide. So make sure to check it out, although it's not fully updated for Phrecia Ascendancies just yet. So do check out the path of building to clear up any confusion you might have. You can find the links in the video description. And to the people playing Behemoth in hardcore this league, I salute you. You have balls of steel which I definitely do not ever want to touch. If you like these type of off-meta trash builds, make sure to complete all the formalities by liking, subscribing, and ringing that notification bell. To stay even more updated, consider joining our Discord server or watching me live on Twitch. As always, thanks for watching, Exile.